Oh, I did hit the button. Sorry. Yeah. Well, that's the risk. You ought to not let people hit buttons, especially those procreation buttons. Yeah, joke. Well, whatever. Yeah. All right. So a couple of videos on the subject today. Professor Anton replied to Piro, and the comments are pretty much the same old dribble. People just throw in some, just absolute nonsense here and there about how there's some mystery to our existence, how the spook actually calls consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction dogma. You just call it that. And you're just like, well, how can you argue? It's basic evolutionary science. I mean, it is a quite eloquent reduction of evolution to the mechanism. I mean, the consumption reproduction part you can't miss. The cannibalism is just built out of the fact that we're on an island planet and there's no running away from each other. So we will confront each other 40,000 years later or some other, just like the human race. Look what the human race did. We had a little bit of time between us and the Native Americans of North America. And when the two met again, 20 or 25,000 years since they separated, what'd they do? Yeah, that's right. They pretty much barbecued. It's quite amazing how little genetic difference it requires to go from predator to prey or prey to predator. But anyway, that's irrelevant. It's not irrelevant, but I'm just saying that's the cannibalism. And the addiction part is quite obvious. As soon as psychology was invented, there was created in the sentient organism desire mechanisms, deprivation feelings of need and want that drove, compelled, motivated the feeling organism to have a disposition to act. And so all you needed was a trigger and they would go. And that it was quite rationally or quite logically ended up being part of the structure because it was very conducive to more efficient consumption, reproduction, and cannibalism if you could suit your behavior to your exact environment, to the time of day, to the time of season, to the climate, to every aspect could be suited. And you could behave individually depending on where you were and what you were doing and what time it was. And that made you a powerful organism because you were less likely to get eaten and more likely to be eating. That's simple. And that's our history. That's what we're made out of. All the rest is psychological ribble-rabble. And if you think there's a purpose, you are deluded and full of shit. It doesn't function to do a damn thing but spread DNA of different shapes, sizes, and forms across the surface of planet Earth. That is its function. That's what it does. Period. No rhyme, no reason, just a mechanical manifestation of chemistry, of atomic forces, of energy in motion. We are part of the motion. The reason why I'm moving right now, the propellant is made out of a whole bunch of reflexes wound up inside of my head. Springs that were retracted even a decade ago in terms of a thought or an impulse. It'll make me, there, I jumped in the air because an impulse triggered in my brain that might be 10 years old, fired and said, demonstrate your point by jumping in the air. Yeah. Okay, so it could have been waiting 10 years for that to happen. And it fired and said, jump. So I jumped. But that's all it is. It's just a ton of crap comes in. It mungles around for as long as you're alive, bouncing around. Bing, 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 bang, bing, ricocheting about inside your little cranium, and then poof, you do something. You poof. You say the word poof. And you say, why the fuck did I say a silly word like that? But yeah, that's it. And so anyway, these fucktards keep talking. And they're just doing it to malign the philosophy, to make it marginal, and all the cult talk. Yes, I'm organized a cult, and I'm mind controlling all the followers with my devious tactics of, you know, offering them blowjobs or something, or whatever the fuck I'm doing. The sweet candy I'm seducing them with, of my lovely and wonderful charms. I mean, it's just such a fucking joke. Yes, I've stolen all their money and made them totally subservient to my wisdom. I mean, it's just so... I mean, it's just the cheapest tactic. So you can't argue the argument. So just call it a cult. Yeah, what pussies you are. But it's just rampant. It's in all of them. Nobody can make a rational argument. And Fred is, I don't know, he's on planet Xeon now. He's, you know, he's having such a midlife crisis or whatever. I mean, when you resort to the high school nonsense of, you know, making naked women out of wire, heating it on the stove, and then burning your flesh with it. I mean, what the fuck is there to say to that? Except fail. I mean, God. Oh, amazing. So, whatever. I mean, really. I mean, it's just so fucking. It's just so cliche high school. I mean, he ought to buy himself a leather jacket or sweater or something. What else is high school? I don't know, denim jacket? Well, I mean, they're cool, but yeah, that is very high school. I mean, I have a couple. Alright, so there's got to be more. But anyway, yeah, it's just, forget it, Fred, come on. What the fuck? I mean, really, what the fuck is that? Jeez. You might just start cutting yourself. And you can be a complete, you know, I don't know, get yourself a, what are those, what do they call those people, those goth people? You know, get yourself some, like, goth makeup for your eyes and shit. You know, and some razor blades. Make yourself a necklace out of razor blades. It's really, well, whatever. That's not the subject of this video. It's just kind of, I mean, it's just sorrowful. There's just there's very few rational people left on the old tubes. Yeah, unfortunately, in terms of video makers. There's just not too many about. So anyway, where was I? Anyway, with this whole argument though, you know, that this is somehow a religion. The very idea, especially when you think about what the pro-natalist or the pro-choice on natalism assholes are preaching. They're preaching this idea. It's basically a defense of zombie creation. You know, I mean, if that would sound like a cult. If you had a cult who theorized it would be a good idea for people to raise the dead and brainwash them to, you know, seek out brains. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Yeah, what are you doing? I mean, that's all procreation is. It's just zombie creation. You're just hoping your kid will turn out something like you. He won't turn out to be a complete asshole, somebody you completely despise, or that despises you, which seems pretty likely. I mean, I say it's at least a 50-50 chance anytime you have a kid that your kid's going to grow up not to have much respect for you, at least from the people I've known. That seems to be the percentage. So yeah, it's just such a laughable joke. Tragic, pitiful. I mean, obviously, the standard dogma, the traditional notion that life has purpose and meaning, because it's been based on some sort of fables of happily ever after, and wicked witches, and gods who said, let there be life, and he said it was good. Yeah. And he gave them dominion over all the little feely creatures and said, go ahead and, yeah, bleed their blood out and sacrifice it to me and smear it on your head. I mean, come on. You fucking wackos. These are all rationalizations for nothing. For something just plainly stupid. Reproduction for the sake of reproduction. That's why all this shit is here. reproduction for the sake of reproduction. All of it. The stupid bugs, all of it. Every bit of it. Reproduction for the sake of reproduction. Serving no purpose, just pointedly living to die. Take a few bites out of something before you're eaten by the carnivores or the maggots. And people just keep glorifying it because that's what we've always done. It's what we do. Because like we're humans and stuff, and this is what we do. No, nothing rational, just because, nothing better. And they call me religious. I do a lot better than to defend what I do or what I say with crap like because. And again, how much trouble is it really to ask all those people who are pro-choice, are pro giving people the right to do Frankenstein experiments, the minor obligation to write a couple of sentences, a couple of coherent sentences, explaining what rational purpose is to be accomplished in this perpetuation of the little rat race. And that's all the fuck it is. Alright, a race for the sake of racing. Chasing for the sake of chasing. Hurting for the sake of hurting. Making a mess for the sake of making a mess. It's just all fucking bullshit. A silly pipe dream. I don't even know what a pipe dream means, but yeah, it's not a coherent dream. It's a nonsensical pile of rubbish, and it only means something because it's been painted pretty colors. So yeah, I guess if you put psychedelic paint on a skeleton, add some glitter, a few laser beams, and you make it dance, a square dance, it just won't look skeleton anymore. Yeah, you'll just start calling it Joe and make a friend of it in no time. And that's all you fuckers are doing. You've lied about what this is. Your whole perception of it is a lie. Your whole understanding of it is a lie. And you just keep perpetuating the lie. You keep trying to sell the lie. And as soon as somebody says, hey, you're a liar, you're selling an absolute pile of shit, you motherfucking cunt. And you get offended because they dared to show you for the weaselly little, whatever you call that, 3-card Monty criminal that you are. You're a shyster, a crook, a deceiver, a shammer, a scammer, and all to protect your little delusions, your little sensitive and vulnerable ego. Because you just can't live with the thought that, oh, you mean I'm not the center of the universe? Oh, the universe won't have another me? Oh, how pitiful. Or another one of my race, my masterful, wonderful race. You people are sick motherfuckers. That's all that can be said. Alright? And the evidence is in the history. You breeders just keep producing a 99.9% shit. And the tiny percentage that actually have a brain that doesn't get spoiled by your sick psychology has to endure the hard, biting pain, realizing, this is what I'm from. A family of retards, a family of assholes, a long lineage of jackasses. God, that does suck. So anyway, just a summing up. Yeah, an interesting day. I guess I should respond to Professor Anton's stoicism bullshit again, but I've already kind of addressed that crap. Stoic. It's just a nonsense. Just so idiotic. It amounts to nothing. It fights for nothing. Demands nothing. It's a weapon of the masters to keep the silly enslaved under control. You're never so gained as you are when you think there's pride in being victim. Phew, P fucking you.